Good morning and happy Tuesday. Welcome in and welcome back. Good to see you guys this morning. Hope you guys are all having a good Tuesday morning. I know I am. I'm on my third cup of coffee. Good to see you. Hey, Potato. Good to see you, Angie B. Mocking Media in the house. And yes, Tracy M., thank you for the reminder. I can't watch the coverage, but thoughts, good vibes, and everything to Jamaica. An unusual category 5 hurricane. It's really, really scary. Do we have any birthdays in the house today? Hey, Jody. Hey, Alexis. Hey, Peekaboo. You have your Starbucks pumpkin spiced caramel mac. That sounds like a mouthful. Hey, Kels, good to see you. We have a new emoji. The doctor is in the emoji world of Cooterville. So check out the new emojis if you are a member. Oh, well, here you go, Kels. This is for your daughter. I wanted to use this soundbite.
Happy birthday, baby.
Oh, no, Tracy, I'm not a derail at all. It's a serious thing going on, and I'm avoiding coverage, but in the back of my mind, hoping and praying everything turns out okay. Happy birthday, baby. Hey, Daddy's baby girl. Hey, Sandra, Neal, Lori, Eddie, Mom Interrupted. Good to see you. Bewitched. Thank you for coming in. We have a lot to go over. It looks like our friend Difficult Research, a.k.a. Kresha, is going to be going live today at 1 p.m. Eastern. So after we're done here, we're going to get in the Cooter DeVille, and I'm going to get you guys over there so that you can hear what Kresha has to say since the copyright strike from Lauren Matthias. Hey, Kim. Hey, Jeep Babe. So thanks, Cindy. I also did release the Stay 500 Feet Back merch. If the mods can share the merch link. Good morning, Body Moving. I also made a post in the community. There's t-shirts and there's hoodies. The hoodies are kind of pricier than I normally price hoodies just because I did sleeve, right, left sleeve, back, and front print. So everything that you add, and I'm going to add more. I would love ideas. If you have any ideas, feel free to email me. Good morning, Miss Flo. Good morning, Captain. So that's why that one is a little bit more expensive than the regular hoodies. But they are very nice. You can ask people in here. They're very nice quality. They're not thin. They don't rip. They're not shitty. Oh, Edie. What I am is what I am, like Edie Brickell. I'll never forget now. No, claim and strike is the same thing. Speakeasy, welcome to Cooterville.
I want this to be crystal clear. Y'all welcome to Cooterville. Come on in, and remember, close your legs.
So we've got quite a few things to go over. I hope that you're feeling better, Shopaholic. Hey, Cole. So we've got lots of things to cover before in 2 hours. That's why I started a little early. There we go, Kels. Thanks. A Grayson bobblehead as an emoji. Jesus Christ. I don't know if you'd be able to see it real well. We got bobbleheads right here above the chat. Is that good? We need socks. We need socks. I can make socks. The socks is funny. Okay, so the first thing we're going to go over before we get to the lunch lives, we've got 2 lunch lives, and then we've got a podcast with Annie Elise and Lauren. But before we get to that, I have a few things that I wanted to go over. Thank you, Jennifer, for 3 months of cootership. I appreciate your support. The first thing we're going to get into, though, is this Annie Elise business from Rabbit. So first off, what we have is Grayson commented on Rabbit's video yesterday. Okay. And this is about Reddit. This is about the Annie Elise quote unquote snark pages. Now, I guess this is a business move for people in her genre, if you will, because I don't consider myself in her genre. I would never think to make or have someone make a snark page so that no one else would.
Just help a brother out.
That's cheesy to me, but hey, to each their own. Gamma, thank you for being a cooter for 6 months. And Danny as well. Thank you for the 6 months. I love Rabbit too. Okay, so Grayson commented and she said, "This is Grayson. I am the owner of them because I worked for Annie Elise and created them as a business move years ago while working for her. There's no activity on any of the ones I took out, and she's aware of them as it was a group decision when I did it with her and our team. In fact, they're locked down, and there's never been any activity on them. Glad you guys can find anything for clicks and views to make someone look bad before checking with the source first." Little snarky, Grayson. I saw it, Lacey. Right, just don't be a bitch and no one will be snarky towards you and you won't need snarky pages made. So then this person goes, "Shame on you." And then this person says, "Aren't you and Lauren embarrassed? Not hating, man, but you both need to seek counseling." And then Rabbit said, "I have pinned this comment so that I understand. You intentionally started snark accounts for Annie Elise as a business move? I will gladly correct myself or remove this if you are saying that these accounts are for business purposes. Never heard this before, but please clarify. Also, yes, this is YouTube. Hidden true crime gets clicks and views, and so do we." Boom. Love her. Love her. Okay, so then this morning, I see this. Annie Elise has commented on Rabbit. She put, "Hi, this video was just sent to me. Just want to clarify that I knew about these pages. She created them a couple of years ago, so other people couldn't. As far as I know, nothing was ever posted on them, and it was just done to take the name." Are you really, Annie Elise? Are you that worried about people talking about you? You people are so fucking sensitive. It's pitiful. It is, Miss Pansy Fance. It's pathetic. What a horrible, this is what these people are doing behind the scenes when they're true crime creators, okay? True crime creators behind the scenes worried about snark. Yeah. Sounds legit. Sounds legit to me. What a joke. And she admits it. "I just did it because I didn't want other people to take the names. And I didn't want anybody to talk bad on me. So Grayson," and this was a few years ago, so Grayson was like 21. Good morning, Hartley. Fancy fans. That's how it came out, y'all. Right. Fuck. Oh, Chico's in here stalking first thing this morning. I don't believe her either. I don't believe any of it. Who does that? I mean, if you do that, it's dumb. But look down here, the comments. Controlled opposition. Lauren released the text. Annie Elise seems like a common thing as my channel's name was originally serialistly until I at her and then the name appeared on her channel. Like Hidden True Crime, it's giving me mean girl vibes, birds of a feather. Unbelievable. Oh, whose shit is going to hit the fan tonight? I'm going to have a prediction about Web Sleuths Live tonight. I'm guessing Othram. Hello, Miss Nonsense. Hello, Michaela. Oh, because they're petty, Jennifer H. It's like, why do you think ahead about people talking about you? Maybe don't be a bitch and no one will talk about you. Okay. So anyways, we put that one to bed. That's done.
Everybody likes me, everybody hates me. They want me to go eat some worms.
We have a new soundbite along with a new emoji in chat. Welcome in. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Okay. So the next thing we're going to look at is I thought it'd be interesting to look at their stats for a moment. Is she mean? I don't know. I don't know her. She seems like a petty bitch like the other ones. I mean, who makes snark pages so that no one else can? Jesus Christ. These women can't handle any criticism, I swear to God. Yeah, even if you're not a bitch, people talk about you. That's true. But it sounds like she knows she's a bitch, so she's getting ahead of her bitchiness. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she was her history, she came on here and she used to sling in the dirt and the drama and the crama, and she got into cases. She said she was starting some fucking trust fund for some little girl in a case, Sophie Long. It's weird, dude. These people insert themselves where they shouldn't insert themselves. Good morning. All right, so I thought it would be interesting to take a look at the stats. Because she's thinking, if somebody thinks there's a snark page for me, nobody will make it. Okay, so what we have here are Hidden True Crime, right? We have their thing. What I found interesting, okay, not only have they lost not 1,000, 2,000, but 3,000 subscribers since October the 24th.
For making it happen.
Of course, sensitive white woman would try to squash people's free speech. Thank you, Janice. Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, Kelly Mack, she did put autopsy photos behind her Patreon. But how funny that she didn't get put on blast for it. She didn't have Brian Enton call her out on a fucking live stream like he did to Zav Girl. Why? Because Zav Girl's not as cute? Because Zav Girl doesn't pay an agency? And she doesn't sit there and go, hey, chica bestie. I would much rather watch Zav Girl than Annie Elise any day. Zav Girl got fucking slaughtered. Completely slaughtered. Brian Enton went on a live and was like, hey, you know, she should be canceled for doing this. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. That's the way I see it. It seems like these girls just always have, you know, clean hands, if you will. They get these little producers that are in their 20s to do shit for them. Yeah, Jennifer, I don't give a fuck either. Hate me all you want. Hate me, call me whatever you want. I don't care. Yeah, she sure did, Sasha. She took the fall for them all. Oh, did he really? I don't watch him, so. Who did Annie Elise do that to? I think it was Gannon Stalk. Wasn't it? Gannon's? Pretty sure. Been called worse by better. Aw, thank you, Kels. Good morning, Lip Locked. All right, so really what I wanted to point out here is if you look here, this says video published. Videos published, 154. This is in the last 6 months.
For making it happen.
Thank you, Salty. I saw that.
For making it happen.
Thank you so much. Awen Reese just did a live after 4 years talking about Lauren. Yeah, and she's doing well with it. I haven't watched it yet, but good job, Awen. Okay, so listen. 60 or 6 months we're looking at, okay? This is videos published. So we see all these are videos published. Look at an interesting date here. Nonsense, I hope you're here. June 13th. Hidden True Crime deleted 15 videos. They unpublished 15 videos on June 13th, 2025. Why? What videos are those? Why'd you do that? Yeah, isn't that weird, right? So if we go to 3 months, we have on September 5th, we have 1 unpublished. And then if you go over here, wait, let me get rid of this pinned comment for a second so you guys can see it all. So here you have 1 video unpublished on September 5th. And then if you scroll over here to October 13th, there's 1 video unpublished.
For making it happen. I wanna say thank
October
you.
15th, you have another video unpublished. And then October the 23rd, you have another video unpublished. But in June, if we go back 6 months, we have 15 unpublished videos. I don't know what they could be. I never watched her, so I couldn't imagine what's missing. Thank you, Janice. Let me see what you have to say. Don't forget Annie's connection and friendship with the baby Gap, the Glarer. No matter what she does, he licks her boots. Right, because he wants in her pants. Yeah, I did see that, Body, but then I looked at mine, and mine had 1,001 lump sum too. So I don't know if they wait for you to get enough. But yeah, Body has a good point. If you look back 6 months on their subscribers, it's 1,000. 1,000. Okay, I'm going to name the dates. June 18th. All of these are 1,000 subs. June 23rd. See, mine was 1 time 1,000. They're getting 1,000 a few times a month. So you have, and it's a pattern. You can see this pattern, right? See how they're all 1,000? June 29th, July 8th, July 16th, July 18th, July 22nd, July 24th, July 26th, July 28th, July 31st, August 6th, August 11th, August 17th. Then they did something where they got a lot of attention. They must have been at a trial. This must have been a trial or something. Because they got 4,000, unless they bought those. But then we have the 1,000. Again, August 28th, September 1, September 6th, September 10th, September 18th, September 28th, October 2nd, and then October 16th, another 1,000. And then we have, obviously the negative here, lost. But when she deleted those videos on June 15th, she lost 88,988 views. June 14th, 51,913 views from deleting those videos. Do they show rounded off? I don't know. Let's look. Let's compare. Hold on. I'll pull up Every Day with Jay and we'll see what it says. All right, channel stats. Okay, so this would be... See, my subscribers go by the 100 and I don't buy them. See that? Mine are by the 100. So I wonder if YouTube, or if they like round it off. Do you know what I'm saying? Blackhawk, you're not my producer. I didn't ask for your opinion.
Everybody likes me, everybody hates me. They want me to go eat some worms.
I'm wondering if it isn't rounded off. Because look, when I started covering this, I got 300 in one day. See what I mean? It's all the same. So I don't know. I don't really understand that. I can't say for certain. But she did delete 15 videos. I can say that for certain. What's the next thing we're going to watch? Let me look at my notes. Okay, we went over Rabbit. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to watch, this is a clip of Lauren and Gigi from April 19th, 2023. Whoops, you guys can't see. From April 19th, 2023, Gigi McKelvey, host of Pretty Lies and Alibis, and Lauren Matthias, the host of Hidden True Crime, join Banfield to discuss the testimony of April Raymond, Lori Vallow's friend from Hawaii. So we're going to see Lauren and Gigi together. And I thought this was interesting because they were both on News Nation together. So I'm not understanding why or what was, I don't know. Because Lauren had Banfield on her channel as well at one point. Let's watch this really quick. It's a quick, just a couple minutes.
I want to bring in two other people who are in the courthouse today. Lauren Matthias is the host of the Hidden True Crime podcast, and Gigi McKelvey is the host of Pretty Lies and Alibis podcast. All right, ladies. So give me a bit of a feel for how the jury reacted to yet another friend of Lori's basically saying things like, Lori told me she was done with JJ. That had to have hit hard.
Yeah, Gigi and I were actually talking about that, and we both thought that Lori was actually very worried about April being on the stand, that she looked nervous.
Yeah, she did. She looked very nervous, uneasy, didn't look up a whole lot. Probably the most nervous I've seen her this entire time.
What do you think, Gigi, was the strongest evidence she sort of sent out from the stand today? Like, what? This is a friend. This is somebody who has the Hawaii connection. What was the strongest thing she said that will make her, you know, a key witness in this case?
I mean, without a doubt, when she said that Lori told her that she didn't want JJ anymore, I think that speaks volumes, and it fits with why we're here. She didn't want JJ, and we know where JJ ended up. So I think that was very powerful coming from somebody who was super credible on the stand.
And Lauren, she even seemed to go further to this friend, April Raymond, suggesting that if she wanted to be, and it's nuts, but bear with me, if she wanted to be swept up with the 144 who were going to
That's what I was thinking, Body. He's so cute.
Be saved after doomsday, she was only going to be able to do it without kids. That just sounds like the smoking gun right there. I know it isn't, but how did she characterize that? What did that mean? That the kids are demons, I can't take them with me, or the kids are a hassle, or they're an obstacle, or how did she characterize that?
Yeah, according to April Raymond on the stand today, she said that Lori would tell her all of these new beliefs that she had, that she was a gatherer, that she was part of the 144,000, but there was a catch. And that catch was, you can't bring your kids with us to come gather with us. She said that there was some subtle grooming, and that when she heard that, Lori's reasoning was, well, you now have a higher calling. So you just kind of go abandon your kids with maybe their father or someone and come with us because
Oh, abandon the kids with their father, huh? Oh, shoot. Gatherers, yes, the 7 gatherers were Lori Vallow and her friends. And then we have the 144,000 that were the chosen ones.
so you just kind of go abandon your kids with maybe their father or someone and come with us because bigger and better things await.
One last
Yeah,
thing,
her
Gigi, I can't let you guys go before I ask you this. This was a bit shocking. I did not know about this. I think it's new today that there is an admission that while they were searching for the bodies in Chad's backyard, he was actually like in his car sending $8,000 to each of his kids with 5 kids. That's like $40,000. Seriously, he's transferring money to his kids while they're searching for these bodies in the backyard?
Yeah, it was only 3 of his kids, so it was 24,000, but it was within a short time frame. So as they're actively searching on his property, he's transferring money to his kids for what? We don't know, maybe a retainer. But yeah, that was new to us, and I thought that was pretty surprising. In the midst of all this, you're planning ahead to give your kids money, which he knew
Holy
what was
Dinah.
up. So this was no surprise.
That is something. That's something. Lauren Matthias, Gigi McKelvey, as always, just fantastic reporting, and thank you for the analysis. Appreciate it.
And to think, Matthias was talking shit about Gigi. Shame, shame, shame. Yeah, kind of a little bit of leakage there, huh, Marissa? Hey, Young Black. Yeah, I don't know. This is from 2023. All right, let's get into the lunch lives. We've got 2 lunch lives, then Annie Elise. I think we need to get right into it. Thank you for being here. If you haven't, hit the thumbs up. Now is a good time.
Talk any longer. Give me a thumb.
Oh, sorry. The date on this one is July 23rd, 2025. I did, Lori Jean. Megan.
Thumbs up if you can see me and if you can hear me. Let's just make sure that you all can. Okay, I see 1 thumbs up. Can you
We hear
hear
ya.
me? That is the ultimate question. Let me know. I did this microphone myself.
I heard that,
today,
Edie, but I don't know who it is.
Admittedly, Grayson typically helps me. Hello. Hello, hello. Hey, Cat Ride, you're the first one I see. Good to see you. Thumbs up from Jennifer. Okay, so you guys can hear me.
Not
We
me.
just concluded. Hello, hello. We just concluded not just the sentencing for Brian Koberger, but also the press conference, which I took you there behind the scenes. Hey, everyone. All right, so it sounds like you guys can hear me. Here's Grayson. I put my microphone on myself, Grayson. Wow. So I'm like frantic, feeling.
Okay, nonsense. Fill in the blanks. What's July 23rd?
Like they're not going to be able to hear me. Here's Grayson. She usually does the mic work. So it sounds like I'm good.
Hi. Oh, this is the day of the dinner.
I did it. I'm moving up in the world. Thank you. Thank you. I did that. So let me take you guys behind the scenes and let's talk about everything that went on. In fact, and Grayson doesn't even know this, but Grayson, I might pull you on here in a little bit too. Let me take him around. But I think that you and I watched the sentencing together today. You and I were at the press conference tag teaming today, whispering to one another. I know we were making decisions for y'all, doing our best, trying to get questions answered, trying to get info to you from the behind the scenes press conference we did. We were in the first row. So let me take you around. Let me show you what's going on. And then let's talk about what you and I witnessed today, what you thought. I think Grace and I might have even had some differing opinion on.
Why does she talk like that? It reminds me of Julia the dog handler. This run on like, I think Grayson. So weird.
Witness today what you thought. I think Grace and I might have even had some differing opinion on how some things went down. So let me just first show you guys around, and then we'll come back and do this in the shade right here. We'll do here. This is kind of private. We don't show anyone in the public. By the way, I did just see John Pryor in there. It took everything. Yeah, he was going through security, and I was like, oh, I want to.
You're so happy to see John Pryor.
I want to talk to John Pryor. That's Chad Daybell's attorney, but I knew.
Leave the attorneys alone. You're missing a piece of your eyelashes, by the way. Right there. There's a little piece missing. But anyways, why would you fuck with the attorneys? Why do you keep doing that? Why do you fuck with attorneys and investigators in active cases and trials? Yeah, this is the same day as the Boise report for stalking.
Later. So let me show you guys around what's going on here. Very busy outside the courthouse. A lot of media tents. So they do allow media tents. Right over there, we have, let's see.
Who is it,
I
Lauren?
was seeing a lot of people, a lot of media.
Who are you seeing?
This is what's going on. A lot of after talk. So this is, by the way,
convict.
do you know how many things happened in this courthouse? I feel like this is Groundhog's Day a little bit.
You think it's her new teeth? Look at Grayson.
Courthouse. I feel like this is
wait. Look at Grayson getting pictures.
In this courthouse, I feel like this is Groundhog's Day a little bit.
Look at Grayson. Let's hang out by the entrance. So the people we don't want to see, we have to see. She does fangirl over the invest. It's weird.
A little bit. Even more than you guys probably know. Let's start. I got divorced in this courthouse. I had my first date with
I got divorced in this courthouse?
John about 5 minutes away.
I had my first date with John 5 minutes away. Who cares? Grayson's with her. I got divorced in this courthouse.
Even more than you guys probably know. Let's start. I got divorced in this courthouse. I had my first date with John about 5 minutes away. I then attended the Lori Vallow case here, and then I attended the Chad Daybell case here, and I've attended several.
Yes, she wrote her book on all of her abuse from the first marriage, right? We do not care.
Hearings of Brian Koberger here. It holds a lot of actual heartbreak, a lot of moments I'll never forget in my life, seeing autopsy photos that I'll never be able to unsee, being with those I love.
What?
This courthouse holds a lot of.
Shut up. Now you're sentimental about a fucking courthouse? Give me a break.
Bitter, hard memories, but also justice. And today was another day of justice. And that is what
I had to see. Oh, no, you didn't have to see autopsy photos. You didn't have to look, weirdo.
And today was another day of justice. And that is what I am focusing on, is the justice that I have seen happen in this courthouse and what happened today. I think the most poignant moment for me, I just want to say, was hearing from Bethany through her friend and Dylan, the roommates. And I'm not, everything was poignant. Everything was emotional. I shed tears today watching the sentencing of Brian Koberger. But for some reason,
oh, shut up.
For me personally, what got to me was hearing about Dylan as she described panic attacks and PTSD and survivor guilt, and Bethany too. We've not heard from these roommates and how.
Do not compare yourself to the roommates. Do not.
The media storm and people reaching out to them and how they had to hide, and how they will never be the same. You know, the impact that they felt, that impact of their lives forever, and then the loss of their best friends.
Yeah, you're right. She really tries to sound relatable and emotional to make you really like her personality, but it comes off cringe.
That affected me. I'm going to have Grayson come over here in a little bit to talk about the sentencing with me, and we'll just swap this microphone back and forth. But it's okay, not quite yet. But I do want to also point out a few things people were curious about in the press conference.
Not yet, Grayson.
The thing that I saw in our chat the most is that they talked
Grayson.
about Papa Rogers. They did. They said Papa Rogers was in so many words, they said Papa Rogers was a nothing burger, not connected. They did not share a motive in today's press conference or
Thank
in
you,
today's
Jesse.
sentencing. In
Brother
fact,
out here.
they left us with more questions that they don't know why
Cassandra.
the house was targeted. They only know the house was targeted. They can't say who or why.
Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that. Did not mean to do that. Damn it. Hold on.
And
Hold on. Got a little ahead of myself here.
Of their best friends. That affected me. Watching the sentencing of Bryan Kohberger. But for some reason, for me personally, what got to me was hearing about Dylan as she described panic attacks and PTSD and survivor guilt, and Bethany too. We've not heard from these roommates and how the media storm and people reaching out to them and how they had to hide and how they will never be the same. You know, the impact that they felt, that impact of their lives.
Dude, you're doing a horrible job explaining that sentencing hearing. Oh, my God. And you were there in person.
Forever. And then the loss of their best friends. That affected me. I'm going to have Grayson come over here in a little bit to talk about the sentencing with me, and we'll just swap this microphone back and forth. But it's okay, not quite yet. But I do want to also point out a few things people were curious about in the press conference. The thing that I saw in our chat the most was that they talk about Papa Rogers. They did. They said Papa Rogers was, in so many words, they said Papa Rogers was a nothing burger, not connected. They did not share a motive in today's press conference or in today's sentencing. In fact, they left us with more questions that they don't know why the house was targeted. They only know the house was targeted. They can't say who or why, but it was the house. They've made no connections to the restaurant where Maddie worked. They've made no connections to Papa Rogers. They made no connections that they stated with us about a particular victim and them being the target. I thought that we would actually hear that in today's press conference, and we did not. So,
hey, Baker. I had you at Cooterville.
Grayson.
Welcome in.
When it comes to
Grayson.
the sentencing, and we'll take this off to share this microphone a little bit. Sorry, you guys are going to hear some mic sound as I take this off. Here, we'll stand
so
right here. Come over right here in this corner. We just
oh
protect everyone from the public. We get out of the way, and it's quiet. This is actually where I'd stand every lunch live.
My three sons. Welcome to Cooterville.
Chad Daybell. You didn't know me then. You didn't know me. You missed that.
You didn't. I didn't know you then. That was before. That was BL before Lauren. My three sons. Welcome to Cooterville. Thank you for joining.
Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell. You didn't know me then. You didn't know me. You missed that. We're going to another sentencing, her last sentencing here this week. Well, yeah. So, what was the most poignant moment for you? We watched it together. Can I ask you?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Oh, God.
I really liked, I think it was Maddie's grandma. She talked about looking for the blessings. And I just felt like that was it's hard to do when tragedy strikes your family. And senseless tragedy at that. And I just have a lot of admiration for her. And she mentioned Bryan Kohberger's family. And that, I don't know, it just stuck with me. Like I felt like she came in and she just walked up there with such grace and calmness and was just ready to go. And I think that was the impact statement.
This sounds like a fucking sports commentator. She was just ready to go. She had her gear on and she was ready to go and she knocked it out of the park, people. You guys are horrible commentators. Wow. How the fuck did people watch this? How did people watch this?
Oh. Bryan Kohberger's family. And that, I don't know, it just stuck with me. Like I felt like she came in and she just walked up there with such grace and calmness and was just ready to go. And I think that was the impact statement that like got to me the most.
Yeah. One thing that I hope these victim impact statements do is help people to be able to move forward. And
Hey,
I'm grateful
creative.
for those who are able to share. Yeah, I think also I want to say this in the press conference. I really appreciated the voices of law enforcement. There were cheers from law enforcement. We learned that the Chapin family was reached out to every day. We learned that when it comes to this,
We learned that the Chavin family was every day. Like, what? It even said Chavin on the damn captions because she's slurring.
the Chapin family was reached out to every day. We learned that when it comes to this plea deal, I know there's a lot of talk of this plea deal that not all of the family.
Oh my God, she
happy about
does
this
remind
plea
you. She is like Chucky. She does remind me of Chucky. She should dress up as Chucky for Halloween. For sure. Chucky and Eminem's mom from 8 Mile. Lauren could be Eminem's mom from 8 Mile.
Deal. The Gonsalves family had made it very clear from the beginning that it did not make them happy, while other families have said that they approve and value the plea deal. And I think ultimately in the end, they made this plea deal because the prosecution, according to the press conference, felt it was the best thing when they were approached by the defense with this plea deal. As the trial loomed in the distance, jury selection would be going on this week, beginning this week, that they felt this was the best way for justice, that he will never be able to hurt anyone else, that he will be away forever, that he will have admitted guilt, and that he will be able to become a distant memory for these families without the appeals, without so many things that could happen if there is a death penalty phase or a trial or the possibility of appeals. That's off the table. And they felt it was the best way for justice. One interesting question for me, and it's something that I have always wondered, was if Brian Kober had not left the knife sheath behind, would he have been caught? Would he have been arrested? Would we have seen justice? Would we have known who took these 4 beautiful lives so senselessly? And today in the press conference, there was a joint decision that they actually said that they had talked about this endlessly, ad nauseum. Like that they had talked and talked and talked about whether or not, if Brian Koberger had not left that knife sheath behind, would they have been able to get him? And they agreed that yes, they would have. It would have taken longer. The timeline would have been different, but they feel like they would have gotten him through the car, that they were looking at all of the cars
Thanks
in
for
the
the
area,
sub, Elvic.
and that it would have happened. So I thought that was an interesting answer. Many good questions today from my fellow media, and a lot of people.
Fellow media. You're not media, bitch. You are not media. See what I mean? This is where she's delusional. She's got a cold sore, too. She's delusional, fellow media.
Questions today from my fellow media, and a lot of people here today for this. I'm still taking in all of the victim impact statements, if I'm going to be honest. They were heavy. I know I saw many of your chats. Dr. John has also been watching them all, and we will be going live in the next couple of hours, and that is a plan. So definitely hit subscribe and hit notifications. I decided, many people are asking, I decided, and I thought we shared this in the chat. I was standing in line from 9 p.m. until about 2 a.m. and I hit a wall. And I also realized that I needed to be covering James Craig, which we took a break to come here, and we're about an hour behind, and we've been writing that. So at about 2 a.m., I decided, you know what? We're going to watch. Oh, there's John Pryor walking out.
Jesus, at 2 a.m., she decided that they're going to watch something. Oh, there's John Pryor. There's John Pryor.
Decided, you know what? We're going to watch. Oh, there's John Pryor walking out. See, there's John Pryor, Chad Daybell's attorney, leaving. We I decided it wasn't worth it. We were going to watch this from home because we needed to tag team James Craig and make sure that we're continuing our coverage on the important trial of James Craig, because there are no cameras in that.
Another Mormon case. Oh, that was another thing I wanted to show you guys real quick before I forget. When we're looking at stats, let me go back to her stats for a second. We go here, go to her channel. I want to show you guys her tags. Are very interesting. Kresha brought this up with Playboard, but I wanted to show you on vidIQ. The tags that come up are the following. Look, the very first one, Mormonism. See that? Mormonism, Chad Daybell, Hidden True Crime, LDS Beliefs, True Crime Podcast, Lori Vallow Daybell, JJ and Tylee, Alex Cox, Julie Rowe, Energy Healing and LDS, Murder Among the Mormons, LDS Mormon, Mormon Beliefs, Hidden True Crime Podcast, Brian Koberger, News Nation, Lauren Matthias, Dr. John Matthias, Forensic Psychologist, Criminal Psychology, DeSales University, Chad Daybell Trial, Ruby Frankie, and Jody Hildebrandt. That translates to me a Mormon-based podcast. And yes, James Craig is Mormon.
In that courtroom, there are cameras here. And so we made the decision, you know what? Because there are cameras in this courtroom, we're not going to attend the sentencing. We'll allow other people to have our seats, that want our seats. And we will watch from home while tag teaming the James Craig. And we are on it, but it also means that we took a bit of a break to come here to this press conference. So I have to now run back, and we're going to jump back on James Craig to bring you all of the latest of what is happening in court. So we are still following that. We made that decision, again, to not come to the sentencing in person. We left it again at 2 a.m. in the morning, pretty confident in that decision. And we're going to head back and bring you all the latest to the important trial of James Craig. And then Dr. John Matthias, my co-host, my husband, he is going to be bringing you his thoughts on Brian Koberger's reaction or lack of reaction, as well as the victim impact statements and how we feel about this day of justice. And yeah, so that's what's going on. I'm going to take off here, and that's the latest. Again, this courthouse, I think the way to summarize this courthouse that I have reported here so often is justice. And today was another day of justice in this courthouse, in the Ada County Courthouse. So I will take off. Thank you, everyone. Again, hit subscribe, hit notifications. This is not the last time you're seeing me today, in fact, or Dr. John. So tonight we'll have the live
John
with James Craig, and in a couple of hours when we feel like we're in a good placement with James Craig, and report and up to date on everything happening today in trial, we will have Dr. John on to discuss more of the sentencing today of Ryan Koberger. So stay tuned. We'll see you guys. Bye-bye.
So this is the same day they went to the restaurant and they called the police, the Boise police, and filed the stalking order, or the stalking police report. All right, we've got one more, and then we're going to get to the Seriously podcast, if I can get through it. Hopefully I can get through it. It's pretty fucking ditzy, but okay. This is a lunch live. Hold on. Oh, Kay's in this one. All right. July 25th. So this is 2 days after the one we just watched. There's Eminem's mom again. Boise. I say Boise. Okay, so this is July 25th. Lori Daybell sentenced.
Lori Vallow Daybell was just sentenced.
Your twin.
Again. She was just sentenced for the attempted murder of Brandon Boudreaux and the murder of Charles Vallow. Glad to see a thumbs up. Don't know what everybody's missed, but a very
For
emotional.
sure, lip locked. Even when she does her lives with John, she's looking right at herself. Boise. Okay. I'm not from there. I'm from Michigan, and we say Boise. Sorry.
Very heavy emotional day for those that were following along on our live stream.
Hey,
And
Mike.
Dr. John is also watching, and we will be going live later. Right now, we are awaiting a press conference that is going to take place. I'll show you guys what's going on. Here we are. There's Joe Schmoe. Hello, there's Joe Schmoe. Mike Watkis, he's been on our...
Hold on. There, what? What? What the fuck is going on? There's Joe Schmoe. Hold up.
That is going to take place. I'll show you guys what's going on. Here we are. There's Joe Schmoe. Hello, there's Joe Schmoe. Mike Watkis, he's been on our channel before. There's...
Wow, Paul. Wow, Paul. Wait just 1 minute, Joe. This is July 25th, 2025. What? This is the guy who took pictures of Christina at CrimeCon. This is Paul Joseph. And he got up and took the pictures of Christina. He also has an a sworn declaration. And he's all dressed up. Oh, I barely know her. No, they met each other in Delphi. Exactly, Kresha. It's sus.
place. I'll show you guys what's going on. Here we are. There's Joe Schmoe. Hello, there's Joe Schmoe. Mike Watkis, he's been on our channel before. There's Nate. Everybody covering this right here.
Nate.
Brianna's known for a few interviews now with Lori Daybell. So what went on in there? They've got a canopy. It's 105, and my phone is actually attached right now to a phone cooler. So fingers crossed that we're okay. Last time we were here in Phoenix and we were waiting for a press conference, my phone shut down. So we have purchased a phone cooler to keep cool. Fingers crossed it works. And I am looking straight ahead at the doors of the courthouse, waiting to see when anyone will be coming out.
Oh my God, she's stalking the people at the courthouse. Why are you sitting there, like, waiting for the victims to come out? You're stalking them, weirdo.
So, for those that didn't watch, like I said, we'll be doing a live later today. But Lori Vallow Daybell now has 7 life sentences ahead of her, 2 here in Arizona, and right, 5 in Idaho. You know, I'm losing track, guys. As I always say, I'm good at writing, but math is not my. I need to stop when it comes to math. She's got a lot of life sentences. A lot. Judge Boreski made some powerful remarks in there. I wasn't expecting that, showing empathy to Brandon Boudreaux for the survivor's guilt he carries, letting us know that he actually shares the same birthday with Charles Vallow, letting us know that his courtroom is a courtroom that follows the law, that is truth, that Lori Vallow Daybell, despite what she said in her testimony, absolutely has had a fair trial.
Seems like he is her camera person.
Any juror had even heard of Lori Vallow Daybell, they were dismissed and not used. We heard from several witnesses. One of the most profound witnesses, or one that was a really, really big deal, someone we had not heard of until today. JJ's father, Todd Trantham.
Oh, God,
Todd
Lauren,
was
don't.
here today, able to give a victim impact statement, and it was incredible and heartbreaking to hear from JJ's biological father. We also heard from Kresha. Kresha was able to talk about her beloved uncle and her step cousin Tylee and JJ. We heard from...
Oh, God. I'll tell you what, she uses a filter because she does not have good skin. No offense, but I can't help but notice.
Step cousin Tylee
Kresha,
and
I'm sorry.
JJ. We heard from so many voices in these victim impact statements, and they were given a little bit more freedom than they were in Idaho when victim impact statements were read, and more were able to share victim impact statements. Tammy Daybell, JJ, and Tylee were not forgotten in these victim impact statements, despite these cases being about being about Brandon and Charles Vallow. At one moment,
what was that?
Nancy Jo Hancock was in the courtroom. Some things you didn't see, because of course Laurie also spoke and gave her own statement, which was appalling. But Nancy Jo Hancock, who was there in the courtroom, she was a witness for Charles Vallow's trial and a very important witness.
Yep, there's
she
the
actually
cough.
stood up after Laurie started talking for a while. And she stood up and she walked out of the courtroom. We made eye contact as she did so. I was at the aisle.
Summer, I don't get copyrighted because I practice fair use. YouTube was founded on reviews and fair use. I'm not copywriting her material. I'm not using it straight out.
And I could tell it was because of Laurie, what Laurie was saying. And I sensed this was a statement from Nancy Jo, and I believe it was. I have not confirmed this with her, but then when Laurie finished and concluded, she walked back in and she took a seat. During Laurie's statement, Kay Woodcock looked aghast, rolling her eyes at times, as did Kresha, as did Todd. When Laurie was discussing prison time and what that looked like and jail time, Todd Trantham looked like, what'd you expect? It was.
She befriended Nancy Jo and made merch out of her Don't Flatter Yourself. Ew.
Sort of that look, like, yeah, that's what it's like behind bars, Laurie.
Thank
Vicky
you,
Hoban
Summer.
and her wife and her husband Jim are in
And Kresha shouldn't have been struck either.
the courtroom, as is Julie Brooks, Vicky's daughter, who knew all of the victims well.
Name dropper.
She is also there. So many people there. Janine Hansen. Oh, here's Rex Connor. He was in there. Summer Shiflett was in the courtroom.
Thank you, Pistol Amy. Welcome, Michelle, to Cooterville.
For making it happen. I want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
There's Rex, Laurie's uncle. Megan Connor, also in the courtroom. That's right there. That's Tosh, a juror we have interviewed, wearing a Hidden True Crime Nonchalant sweatshirt, actually.
Oh, my God. What? You already interviewed jurors before she was even sentenced? And she's, oh my God, I cannot with you. I cannot. Why don't you just put everybody on blast, dum-dum?
A juror we have interviewed, wearing a Hidden True Crime Nonchalant sweatshirt, actually. Many people here today to see this sentencing, which could be the final sentencing, the last time we hear from Laurie Daybell in a long time, although Brianna will be having an interview with her. When is Brianna's interview?
It came out last night.
Oh, it came out last night. It's already been out. So yeah, this
She'll come on Monday.
so she'll come on our show Monday, but this could be, the very, very last time we ever hear from Laurie in a very long time. And as Judge
another
Bresky
trial.
stated,
Okay.
while she has been requesting several interviews, and her love of TV, as Judge Bresky stated it. He said, you will soon, you know, be having fewer of these and kind of, I can't remember the verb used, but into obscurity. Fade, and that was the word, fade. She will fade into obscurity and spend her life behind bars.
I did not, Samantha.
He corrected her on some scriptures. I like that. He said, being that prisoners go free doesn't mean you're going to go free, Laurie. It means that once you die, you will be free. But you will spend your entire life behind bars and fade away into obscurity. Melanie Vallow and Jerry Vallow are here. Jerry Vallow is Laurie's, brother-in-law, but was Charles's dear younger brother. Susan Vallow and Larry Woodcock gave their victim impact statements via Zoom, as did Colby Ryan, who is sick and has been hospitalized. Here we go. Rex is here.
Rex Connor. I'm Tylee and JJ's great uncle, because I'm Lori Vallow's uncle. I like being associated with.
Great coverage, Lauren. Great filming. I'm going to skip past this. I mean, she couldn't even stand up. The fuck? Who's that? Look at, there's Joe Schmoe. He's got his camera set up over there on the tripod or something. There's Joe Schmoe, and I don't know who that other guy. That's the guy with the hair flip. That's the guy with the hair flip.
Yeah, it seemed like Laurie was once again a bit defiant. So just talk to me about, you were pretty close to her in the gallery.
Well, I've adopted my youngest daughter's philosophy here. My youngest daughter was Laurie's nanny, or Tylee and JJ's nanny. And when I asked her about, following the case.
Okay, we're going to skip him, and then we're going to just go back to her. He's almost done.
Yeah, I'm Alex's uncle also, and I recognize there's a resemblance.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Many of you are asking about Summer. Rex Connor did just state that he was surprised that Summer Shiflett, that's Laurie's sister, showed up. This is the first sentencing she's attended, and she typically does not attend court, and he complimented her on showing up and admires her for doing that. And she did sit there throughout the whole thing, and I want you to know that as Laurie was walking out, Laurie did not look back. We stared at Laurie's back of the head. Sometimes we saw the side of her head, but Laurie did not turn back towards the gallery. But as she was leaving, she did look at Summer, and Summer sat very close to Laurie, as close as she possibly could have been, on the front row to the left. And Laurie did turn around and look at her and nod as they walked out. Many asking about Colby, too. Colby, as we know, has been hospitalized now twice. Mini stroke, meningitis. These are very, very scary things. I was not sure. Oh, Rex is back.
But we are so grateful to y'all in the media for covering this story for years.
Colby was able to give a victim impact statement from virtually, despite him even living near the courthouse. He was not able to come in person, and it was heartbreaking where he talked about losing his entire family, his father, his sister, his brother, and almost losing Brandon, who he is now very, very close to and starting a media company with.
Parawoman, you popped up in my algorithm, girl. I was listening to some of your shit last night.
Another thing.
Oh, yeah. Another thing. Colby Ryan was on Banfield last night. So now we're getting victims of crimes take on active cases. Did you guys see that?
I wanted to bring up is Larry talked about, he said something that Larry's was powerful. He spoke right to Laurie and on Zoom, and then Larry was followed by Susan Vallow. Susan Vallow was able to speak via Zoom as well. They were together in Louisiana, and they were able to both share.
It was really weird.
Brother and Larry's brother-in-law. So something that Larry mentioned was that he said, "You tried to kill me, Laurie, once." And excuse me, what Larry is referring to when he states you were trying to kill me was a story that he told us with Kay, only actually us, John and me, where he believes that Lori tried to poison him with fruit salad and felt like he was going to die on an airplane afterwards and was sick for days and had always felt that Lori attempted to poison him. And I believe him. I think we've seen evidence that that is something that Lori does, is poison people and drug them without their knowledge. We know that also that she did that with Charles Vallow. She did it with JJ. There is actually a Munchausen by proxy diagnosis in the family history charts.
What? Who had Munchausen by proxy in the Cox family?
When it comes to the stepsons, or excuse me,
Yeah, I'll turn on Banfield.
No, Charles's son, Lori's stepsons. Not to JJ and Tyler, but there is a lot of evidence that Lori would give people medication or things that they did not need and without their
Munchausens.
consent. Again, oh sorry, no, you're good. I'm kind of skewed in here. It's okay. And you need canopy. Everyone needs some canopy. Megan was just over here for a quick second. I also saw the juror Victoria, who is also here.
Leave
a
the
lot
jurors
of people
alone.
that are coming here, that I would like to talk to. Did you see anybody else? I was
No
going
one
to grab
wants to
Megan
talk
for a
to
quick
you.
second.
Nobody likes you.
Everybody hates me. They want me to go
Kay
eat
Woodcock
some
at one moment tried to turn the mic towards Lori, which I felt was completely appropriate because although Larry was on Zoom or virtual, he spoke, it seemed, directly to Lori. And I think that all Kay was trying to do was that same thing. She was requested not to turn and look at Lori, but to look towards the judge more so. But at the end of her statement, it was heart-wrenching. She turned to Lori and she yelled loudly and said, "I trusted you." It was
You're so
heart-wrenching for me,
dramatic.
as they've often talked about,
God,
the
and
grief
fake.
that is in us, and the anger that grief can be, the sadness, and how tragedy affects everyone. Later during a bathroom break before hearing for the judge, a bailiff actually asked me. He said, "We heard that there was some yelling," and I said, "Yeah." Just one line, "There was," and their hearts broke for the people in there giving victim impact statements.
Somebody said they wanted to see what she looked like before. Let's take a little palate cleanser.
Attorney General Mark Shurtleff has been.
Here is Lauren when she was a reporter. We're going to do a whole stream.
His nephews.
We're going to do a whole stream on this, but I just wanted to show you what she used to look like. Can't remember who asked.
We don't know what started the fire back here in this duplex behind me, but we do.
So she had a website, laurenrjohnson.com at one point. And it says reporter anchor Lauren Johnson Henderson resume reel 2013.
We don't know what started the fire back here in this duplex behind me, but we do know that it started in the kitchen. This used to be a stop sign. It's where the officer's truck and the suspect's car hit. Because officers have to constantly.
She looks
It's
like a
where the
different person.
officer's truck and the suspect's car hit.
Literally, that is her in 2013. She looks like Julia Roberts. She was so pretty. She looks like a blonde Julia Roberts. This is her now. Wait, hold on. Let me get a better...
There's Kresha, right? Kresha, you did.
Oh, we'll get back to Kresha in a second. Did she film Kresha? So there's now... That's in 2013. Now, 2013.
hit. His officers have to constantly be moving.
Let's go.
Watch this bitch. Watch this bitch go through and kick a door down with an AK. Watch this. Watch this shit.
For the
Y'all, we're gonna do a whole fucking stream on her old reporting things.
constantly be moving.
Watch.
Let's go.
Oh, fuck. It's some funny shit. Here's another one. This is her.
Students' belongings. It was quite the process today and could have lasting effects. Today, family called on David's friends to help stop bullies.
He just didn't deserve to go like this.
When doing something,
Think of okay about buying gifts for his nieces and nephews.
Oh, these are her reports. Okay. Here she is again.
pay it forward, but
Literally, this is her.
this Christmas season, people are paying it forward 26 times.
She doesn't even look like the same person. I mean, I don't even think this is the same person. Like, I mean, if it wasn't for the voice, I would have never believed that this turned into that. Isn't that wild? Right here. I mean, look how pretty she was. It's so wild how people do that to themselves.
And went back inside to get is safe coming up at
Yeah, she totally had her teeth redone. You can tell. Look how gorgeous she was there. Look at her cheekbones and shit. Yeah, I think she had a nose job. Lauren, you were very, very pretty. 45 years old. She looks 65.
The dog the man went back inside to get is safe. Coming up at 10, we'll hear more from Joanna and how she got her children out safely. Live in Sandy, Lauren Johnson, ABC4 News. You've heard of pay it forward, but this Christmas season, people are paying it forward 26 times.
Yeah, she looks, yeah, she's only 45.
It's a concept that seems to be spread.
Okay, we'll get back to this in another live. I'll get in another hole. But there you go. Whoever wanted to see it, there you go. And then before we get back to Cresha, I want to show you guys Colby Ryan real quick and what News Nation is doing, which I find absolutely disturbing. I don't know what makes him an expert on current cases, but here you go.
Been thinking a lot about you as I've been covering this Melody Buzzard story, and I just wanted to get your take on what you think of the developments so far.
Well, first of all, it's heartbreaking, and
this is after Cresha got struck, and it's important to note that he went live while Cresha was live. He was in her chat calling out Annie Cushing, and then he went live, did call-ins, and then the next day he's on News Nation. It says Lori Vallow's son Colby has an uneasy feeling about Melody Buzzard case. Why would we need his take on him? I just don't understand this. This is so weird.
when you see things like this, when it comes to children, it's always extra scary. And, the similarities immediately ring to me where a parent should be able to show you their child within a couple of seconds or know where they are at all times. The fearful thing is seeing them for a short amount of time and then them disappearing and all the families wondering, just the similarities are scary. I will personally tell you that I hope that is not the case. I never want to see what happened to my family repeated, but it's hard to hear it because there's, for me personally, just too many similarities.
Do you have a gut instinct on what's happening in the Melody Buzzard story?
A gut instinct? This is so inappropriate. This is so inappropriate. Oh my God.
I'm thinking a lot about you. Do you have a gut instinct on what's happening in the Melody Buzzard story?
I'll tell you that as a parent myself, I could tell you where my kids are 24/7, no matter what's going on. I know where they are at all times, even if they're at school, and it should be very easy to be able to tell anybody where your children are. So I don't have a gut feeling, but I do feel uneasy about it.
Yeah, I've had a bad feeling since day one.
Anytime a child goes missing, you're not going to have a good fucking feeling. Oh, fuck.
And I thought there's just no way that a mom wouldn't just put people at ease over something as important as a little girl. Here's where I'm confused. It doesn't feel, to me at least, that it's being considered an emergency by the police. And I'm wondering if you got that feeling when you and Kay Woodcock were trying desperately to get the police to pay attention to Lori Vallow, your mom, and find out where your siblings were.
Yeah, I think the police, it was hard for our case because you get so many new departments involved, right? It's Arizona.
I think there's a lot of people Googling the 2022 case where he confessed to raping his wife. That he forced himself upon his wife without her consent. I think that he knows that people are looking that up and are, yes, I think this is PR. And it's sick. And I think it's awfully funny that he has a brand new neon sign with his name, and so does Trisha from Web Sleuths. Call me crazy. But someone's shopping on their wish lists.
It's Idaho. It's all over the place. And then they're looking for Lori and Chad. So yeah, there is urgency. You need to have urgency for a child like this. But I understand that in some circumstances, the police hand could be tied in some ways. But when it comes to children, I think the priority goes to a very high level. And
Good to see you.
Because their safety is important. And, the police sometimes they're just tied and they can't do something about it.
So, you know what? That is a really good point.
I think they could be gifts. Colby Ryan is Lori Daybell's son. Lori Daybell's son, Colby. Yeah. Oh, Colby's channel was a way to work through trauma. That's definitely not something a therapist would recommend.
Just help a brother
And
out.
I'm going on a limb here as an unprofessional, saying that I don't think any therapist worth their salt would tell someone, start a YouTube channel in the true crime genre to work through your trauma. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. I think that's his narrative and people buy it. Cynthia Dawn, welcome to Cooterville. Come on in. We're going to let Chris welcome you in this morning or this afternoon.
Y'all welcome to Cooterville. Come on in and remember, close your leg.
Nah, the true crime genre is not new. True crime genre has been around for years and years. Hell, Trisha from Web Sleuth started her message board in what 90s? It ain't new. Hell, I've been on here for 8 years. Can't even believe it. Please cite the evidence. Okay. Look in court documents, but a simple Google will suffice. Colby Ryan rape arrest 2022. Reported here by Justin Lum. Here's one. Here's the mugshot. Here's his booking. 4/8/1996. Birth date, sex crimes. Booking date 9/4/2022. Sam Evans. I was friends with Lori when Colby was little, and I know some things about SA assaults she accused people of, etc. We don't know any details of this arrest, but I can say that this family has very warped views on sexuality. There's the mugshot. It was his. Oops. Damn it. You can look it up yourself, though. Yeah, his own wife, and he confessed. She recorded it, and she dropped the charges. But I highly, highly don't believe that a therapist would tell you to make a YouTube channel to work through your trauma. This is the most toxic environment for him to be in.
And I want you to just pull on that thread a little for me, because you've mentioned in the past that when kids are taken out of the system, like
Law RN, he confessed on a recording. Yeah, they're still married. She got pregnant. It just another, yeah, you just don't want it. You don't want to acknowledge it because you had this perception, right? So you're going to still defend him, even though you know that he violated a woman and admitted to it. But hey, who am I? Just a normal person telling you, hey, if he didn't look cute to you, or you didn't have this perception, would you defend someone who did that? I don't give a shit if she dropped it or not. Sorry, not sorry. Well, good for her, Donalina. He confessed to it. God, man. You ever thought maybe she was scared? Exactly. Earthside. I can't believe there's people. Ugh, God. Gross. Just fucking gross.
Like this little girl was taken out of the school system and they were homeschooling. Now, the school system did its level best, right? They didn't come and pick up assignments for a few weeks and they reported it. But it really complicates the process when the child isn't doing what every other child is doing.
Right, exactly. And, especially if a parent takes their kid out of school or moves or whatever the case is, when they go somewhere else, you don't know. The teachers aren't going to know who they are. They're not going to know that they're missing.
He can be a not good person and be Lori Vallow's son and a victim of Lori Vallow at the same time. Two things can be true at the same time. He can be a victim of Lori and his wife can be a victim of him. All at the same fucking time. Imagine that.
Missing from another place, right? So it's complicated, but now that everyone's looking and trying to figure out what's going on with her, it just makes it even more confusing because it really ultimately comes down to where is she and why is the mom not speaking on it? Like, why would that be a hard thing to produce your child?
Were you surprised at all that, for me, I just don't understand why they haven't broken down the door. I always feel as though if there's a child missing, worried relatives.
Like, I can't even watch this. Like, who cares what he thinks? For real. Then we bring frickin' Lori into it. Here we go.
See that playing out, certainly not publicly. If it is playing out, they're holding their cards very close to their chest, which makes me fear there's more to this investigation than just a missing child. And God forbid it is a murder investigation. We don't know that to be true. Your thoughts on the process your mom was going through when she was saying to you, don't worry about it, the kids are safe and happy, when in fact the children had already died. Was she lying to you, or was she lying to herself and believing her lies herself?
Wow, that's a great question. I think, honestly, she was lying to herself. I don't think she fully believes in her own story. But I think that is her protecting herself from the reality of what she's done. And I don't think she's changed in a very long time. So, when it comes to her specifically, she's a very, very different person. And I'm sure
I figured this much, Tammy.
Watched her or listened to her speak, you can tell she's a very, very difficult person. And, she's dealing with the consequences, but she thinks she's being wronged.
You think
right?
so?
She thinks that she did nothing wrong. And in her mind,
seems like there's sides here for
she
sure.
loves her kids. And so she has this very special case, in my opinion. But it's unfortunate because I've seen some other cases like this where the parent can't produce their child, and there's always something going on mentally with the parent that I've noticed. So it's scary. You don't want anything to happen to children like this.
Well, and we've heard from the extended family that Ashley Buzzard, Melody's mother, has had some severe mental challenges in the past, whether that's still ongoing. It does sound like it from the descriptions, but we aren't being told any diagnosis. What advice do you have for the extended family members of Melody Buzzard who are desperate to see that little girl?
Hey, Jackie, thank you for your super chat. Oh, God, I hope you're feeling better. It knocked me on my ass for 3 weeks, too. Yeah, this is just a upward trend on Colby Ryan searches on Google Trends. Interesting.
You hold out hope no matter what. And as bad as you think it could be, as scary as it is, as many questions, as much as you go back and forth in a 24-hour period, you hold out hope and you pray and you don't give it up. And until you know what has happened, you hold out hope. That is my advice, because you don't want to make the scenario in your head, but
no other news would ever have this guy on asking him about another missing kid. I mean, this is just so fucking weird. Thank you, Law Nerd. Thank you for keeping it classy. Thank you. Thank you for your super chat.
I don't know if people realize what a prison it is to be scared for someone you love, who, especially a child who can't take care of themselves. But honestly, you just hope and you pray. That's my advice.
Well, conversely, what's your advice for the police in Lompoc, California, who are presumably spearheading this search?
I mean, I'm sure they understand that this is a 9-year-old girl, and you know, you have to take it seriously, but I don't know what their process is, and I don't know what
this is pointless. What
it takes to get all that legal stuff done. I'm not educated in that.
Legal stuff. Why are you on here? What is this for? Do you have advice for police? This is stupid.
But, you know, you have to hope that they continue investigating and hopefully find her as soon as possible.
Colby, how are you processing everything that happened with your mom?
Yeah, it took a long time. Years of trials, years of pain. And, you know, now I'm in a place where after it's all kind of settled down, I've been able to refocus on my family, focus on my personal healing and growth, and, you know, trying to make the best of what life is. You still have a life to live after tragedy, and, you know, try to help inspire as many people as I can, and hopefully be able to give some positive message in all of this darkness, because most people see the darkness, they see the headline, they see what this is, but there can be, you know, a life after all of it. So for me,
you think so, Feminem?
it's just been focusing on my family, healing, and trying to help others when I can.
Listen, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you joining me on this topic. I sure hope we have a conversation in the future that's a positive one about Melody Busby, and I really hope it's not the gut feeling that we have. Colby Ryan, thank you so much for this.
That was it. I mean, I think there's a longer one, but this was only 8 hours ago. Very weird. I don't know, Michelle. It's strange. The neon sign is really tacky. But hey, whatever. Do you, Colby. I wish you the best. All right, back to the lunch live. We are picking up the lunch live where Lauren meets Kresha. Now, Kresha is going to be live in about 50 minutes, and I'm going to get you guys over there so you don't miss any of it. So you can just stay put, and I will transport you over to Difficult Research when she goes live. And I'm very proud of her for going live again because she's taking a risk that Lauren Matthias may attack again. But I'm very confident that if she does, and the one that she already attacked, that video will be put back up. So here we go. This is Lauren seeing Kresha.
Can I turn this on you and just say you did a wonderful job? You don't have to say anything if you don't want to. You don't need to say anything. What? Well, I'll keep it off of you. I'll keep it off you, Kresha. But Kresha, you did a wonderful job. You did a wonderful job, Kresha. It's okay. I see that Nancy Jo is out here as well. There's Nancy Jo walking.
You're stalking them. There's Nancy Jo walking. You're a stalker.
Oh, here they come. Here we go. So there's Julie Brooks, Aunt Vicky's daughter. There's Aunt Vicky. Right there.
Yeah, after this we are.
There's Crescia with her moderator, Trace on the case. There's Tom Evans, Janine Hansen, Megan Music, a moderator of ours. You guys know. Dear friends with the Woodcocks.
It's okay for her to put everybody's name out there and show them on film, but God forbid.
Caitlin. So it looks like we're getting closer. There's Victoria, a juror for Charles's trial.
Why are you doing this? Leave the jurors alone. Fuck.
Sitting down right there.
Dude, I would be creeped out if I was just sitting on a bench and this bitch was like zooming in on me. That's a juror from the she's wearing my sweatshirt.
Yeah, should I keep this down? Kind of we are worried about the...
It's doing great.
Is it doing great? My phone is saying cool. It's colder than your phone. Let me feel yours. Okay, yeah. My phone cooler. That's Jim, Vicky's husband, with her. Oh, wonderful. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I was just wondering if I could get a turn.
This is after she filed the Boise report, isn't it?
Absolutely. Do you wanna just hold this for? I don't have to get up. Okay. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
This was at the sentencing.
Oh, and there's Megan right there. Absolutely, Megan Connor.
Oh,
I'm waiting.
Megan.
I'm waiting for a press conference. Do you wanna say hi?
No one wants to say hi. You're shunned.
That's Vicky.
You're
Aunt
shunned.
Vicky.
Aunt Vicky. She's not your aunt. She's not
This is
your
the
aunt.
staging area. The air conditioning. That's Megan and Vicky hugging. Oh,
Jesus. Why do you have to get their moments? You are a fucking weirdo. You are a fucking weirdo.
hugging. Oh, and this is from Julie Brooks. I have permission to share. Wow. Julie makes incredible cookies with love. And with hearts lifted in sweet remembrance, we honor JJ, Tylee, Tammy, and Charles. Brandon's life
At least this doesn't have the Chad drizzle on it.
the blessing we cherish. And Justice Love and Judge Boreski have helped to light the way. Oh, I'm going to cry looking at that.
Right, Ro?
I'm going to eat it. And it's going to be delicious. Here is Melanie Vallow walking out. That's Jerry's wife. Hugging Megan Music.
Good God. I can't believe this bitch had the...
Brandon with his family.
She had the audacity to announce all these people. Wow.
Jennifer drove. Everybody is coming out. There's Vicky talking to Brianna. Brianna's the one that interviews Lori. There's Jerry Vallow and Brandon Boudreau. I see that we have a lot of people watching. If you could please like this. Thank you. And then again, Jerry's wife, Melanie, walking back there with Brandon's wife, Jennifer.
No, this is a public video, Trish. She's showing it to everybody, the entire world.
Brandon and Jerry Vallow.
Thank you, I guess. I don't really have a lot to say. I think I shared what I had to say in there. So, but we appreciate all of you guys who shared our
Can't even hear them. Her coverage sucks.
We want to know
Go to the news.
This cookie. Julie makes delicious.
Eat it, Lauren. Or
cookies.
is
That might
it
be
poisoned, Lauren? Is it a poison cookie?
for a press conference.
By the way, Lauren, I started watching you when I think it was Idaho 4.
Uh-huh.
I started watching it because a friend of mine from LA told me about you and John, and that's when I started watching you guys.
Oh, okay. And I just need to get up really quickly. I'm going live right now, and then, well, were you able to get
Yeah, I did.
Okay, perfect. So nice to meet you.
My dad always, he's a photographer, so he always asks for a picture, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Take care of you guys.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Like, she's a fan. She's a fan. She's fucking rude.
There's Jerry hugging Grayson.
There's Jerry hugging Grayson. There's Grayson, y'all. Scared for her life. Is that Nate Eaton right there? Is that Nate Eaton? Grayson and Jerry. I'm not going to call him uncle because he's not my uncle.
Hello. Yeah. We're gonna go. We're gonna go.
That's what it was.
Can you say hi? I'm going live. I gave you
By who, Sarah?
gave you privacy, but can I?
Oh,
Okay. Here's Melanie Vallow, Jerry's beautiful wife, and as Jerry said, you needed.
Lauren, these people are not celebrities. Why are you doing this?
He needed beer and food. Is that
That's
what the
correct,
plan? That's
correct.
the plan. Okay. How are you doing? You doing
good,
okay?
good. Yeah, I'm glad it's over.
Glad it's over. Proud of Jerry. Come here real quick. I'm proud of you. We're live. Surprise. But I think you knew that. Did you know that?
It's
but,
okay.
That was a beautiful victim impact statement. I just want to say that. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. And yeah.
So this is Charles's brother. I see the resemblance. Poor guy.
You're feeling okay.
Yeah, it's over. It's done.
It's over.
Time to move on.
Time to move on. Go get that beer, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
She doesn't know what the fuck to say. She don't know what to... Yes, ma'am. Thank you. She acts like she's entertainment television. This is gross. I feel so bad for these people.
Move on.
Time to move on. Go get that beer, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Well, I was honored to listen to you today. So thank you.
Well, I'm glad you were here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here too.
The support. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
What a nice guy.
Always. We'll always be there for you, Jerry. Thank you. Let's yeah, well
We'll always be there. We'll always be there to talk shit about your family.
Let's go talk to Megan real quick. Oh, Megan's going live. Guys, I'm going to take off for a little bit, I think. Want to make sure there's no one else we're possibly waiting for. Let me show you guys this press conference too. That Brandon goes. Here's this.
Oh, there's Joe Schmoe. You see him? That's Joe right there. With his, at least he has a tripod. He's got his bag and he's dressed up in the suit and tie.
Here's this.
I'm sure all these reporters appreciate that.
Gotcha. I think, oh, this is sweet. So that is Jerry's daughter, by the way.
Leave them alone. Fuck.
Who he was walking with. It was enjoyable to hang out with them last night.
Oh.
All right, guys.
I enjoyed hanging out with him last night.
Anything else? Should we talk to anyone else? Are we still waiting for Kay, or is she? Do we know? She is? Okay. Allegedly. Okay. So allegedly, so phone cooler back on, and we'll wait for a little bit longer. We'll just hang out, guys, here.
I don't think that Vallow is, I don't think they're LDS. That was Charles Vallow's brother. I don't think they are LDS. Correct me if I'm wrong.
This is what you do. Welcome to the real world of press conferences. You hang out, you wait, you find out who's talking or who isn't, and if this is going to keep going or not. So I'm going to go back into my little seat now. Okay. Maybe eat a cookie with you guys. Like I said, Julie Brooks makes the best cookies.
Shut up. You have anything else to say?
Another
Fuck.
victim impact statement I really loved and valued was Jennifer Boudreau, Brandon's
Why
wife,
can't you
who
talk?
talked about his survivor guilt. And so, who talked, Jennifer Boudreau, Brandon loved and valued.
Jennifer Boudreau?
Jennifer Boudreau, Brandon's wife, who talked about his survivor guilt. And so,
I think everybody wanted to stay away from her at this point because she called the cops at that restaurant for a fucking escort.
the idea that somebody, oh, here's Kay, somebody wanted to take a father away from his children as she watches him tuck his children into bed each night and pray with them and read scriptures with them and support them, and how heartbreaking it would be for his children not to have their father. Brandon Boudreau's sisters also spoke. His many sisters who love him dearly, and his parents also spoke. And they also talked about the moment that, and here's Todd. So JJ's father, Kay's son.
God, leave them alone. Have they not been through enough?
Walking together. Incredible. That Todd was able to be here today with his mother, Kay.
I'm sorry you had to deal with her. We are so glad to say our mission is accomplished after 6.5 years of her hell. We're done. And I never have to see her again, talk to her again. She can never call me, and I won't be calling her. And God bless Charles and JJ and Tylee and Tammy. And I thank Lori for being such a stupid criminal. And Chad. Her and Chad. Stupid criminals.
What do you think of her impact statement today? Before, I mean,
It was the same, like the interview last night. It was just
Thanks, Ro.
regurgitated from her.
I think you meant Kay, though. I think you meant Kay, not Jay. I'm sorry. I took that as meaning me. Ro.
Interview. That's all she did. It was just regurgitation. And I'm like, I wasn't going to watch it. And I'm like, it's short. So I did. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I thought she'd say.
What do you think of the judges?
I love Judge Burris.
Rowena, that's funny.
I think he did great. And I don't think we could have had a better judge.
Thank you, Jackie, for your
And
super sticker.
He's a better man than a lot of people putting up with her like he did.
As she sits there chuckling, knowing that she talks shit. Thank you so much, Jackie. And thank you, Eagle, Stars, and Stripes. I predict she enters treatment for alcohol. Dr. John mentioned substance abuse when checking boxes off. I predict of divorce within a year. Thank you, Eagle. It's a sentiment that other people have as well. Thanks, Ro. I'll take chocolate chip.
I hadn't heard it earlier, way before he said anything, but anyway, that's why I'm not a judge.
Kay, do you think she'll ever take responsibility for what she's done?
No, never. She will never, and they say never, but I'm saying never.
Oh, Awin Reese said I had the best audio. That's who it was. And thank you, Awin, for saying that.
She will not. And even if she did, what is the truth? Does she even know it? Or she would fabricate it and guess her way? I don't know. It really doesn't matter. That's not anything I think about or talk about or care about.
Who cares about figuring out Lori? She's
I
evil.
really don't have a lot to say, guys. We've got some things to do, but This is my son, Todd Trahan. This is JJ's biological dad.
I hope he's doing good.
And he
I
just
hope
wanted
he's
to
doing
say
all right.
something real quick.
7 life sentences. It's a number of completion. She got what she wanted. I'm gonna see him again one day. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Kay.
Shut up, Lauren.
As Rex Connor said, Lori's uncle, if you want to hear a beautiful sermon, listen to Todd's victim impact statement. It's a beautiful moment. There they are, by the way. So let me just show you.
There's Kresha.
They're up there talking
Stop
to Megan Music. She's a
stalking.
moderator on our channel. That's Janine.
That's Megan Music. She's a moderator on our channel. God, you are so integrated and weird. Why do you do this to people? Ugh.
So let me just show you. They're up there talking to Megan Music. She's a moderator on our channel. That's Janine Hansen up there, the Woodcock's dear friend from Rexburg.
Why are you telling everybody's name and how they're associated? They're friends. Stop.
There, that's Caitlin. Over here is Victoria. She was a juror. That's Trista.
I agree, Eagle. She's
And
dumb.
there's Tom Evans, a juror at Lori's first trial. I'm going to take off, guys. Thank you for being here. I'm taking off. The phone.
She's like, oh, woe is me. No one wants anything to do with me. I'm being blacklisted. I'm being shunned. I can't believe it.
Lasted, guys. Phone coolers. They're a thing. They work, and you can buy them on Amazon. I'm going to go give them a good review. We'll see you guys later. Again, John and I will be going live later. He has been watching, and we will discuss everything we saw at today's victim impact statement, including what Lori Daybell herself said. All right, guys. We'll see you later today. Hit subscribe, hit notifications, and we'll be in touch. Oh, and for those that were awaiting our James Craig update, Grayson, has the James Craig video been posted?
We'll do it now.
Okay, we're going to do it right now.
It'll be up in 35 seconds.
In 35 seconds. We were waiting for these lives to conclude. For those that were waiting for Thursday's James Craig recap, it's going to be posted right.
Hold on.
Right.
Wrong button. Here we go.
Wrong button. Right. Now.
Go watch it.
Yeah. So you can go watch it. I actually woke up at 3 a.m.
What?
And recorded it. It is not live, clearly, because
Creep Town, dude.
So, see what I mean? Thank you, Mabel Dragon. Guys, stop attacking Lauren with facts.
The lawn crime.
She got up at 3 a.m. to record. So that means, how are they sleeping? You know what I mean? Hey, Grayson, get up. I'm ready to record.
because I'm live. So go watch it. And for those that aren't up to date with the James Craig trial, we will have the playlist, the full playlist in the pinned comments. So you can go check that out. So, all right. We'll see you guys. Bye-bye.
There you go. Grayson. All right, now we're going to get into the serialistly. I don't know if we're going to get through all this, but we'll try. We have about 30 minutes until Kresha's live, and I will put you guys in the Cooter DeVille and send you over there as soon as she goes live. Thank you for being here, and if you haven't hit the like button, now is a good time to do so. Thank you so much. Here we go. The date on this, hold on. The date on this one is 6 months ago, so this would be April 5th. This is right before she sent out the C&Ds to the first two girls, Stephanie and Jennifer. I think their names were. Remember in April, those C&Ds went out? This is right before the C&Ds.
Hello, Hidden Gems. I am with a very special guest today. I am so excited to have Annie Elise, my friend, here with me today. And by with me today, I guess I mean split screen with me today. and not in the same room, but split screen with me today. And
Carolina, if I had to guess, I think it's going to be about Othram and what I've been talking about, but I'm not sure.
she is the host, I'm sure you know this, of the Serialously podcast, as well as the YouTube channel 10 to Life. And
Okay.
I've been listening.
So how in the fuck did she get 1.44 million? 1.44 million subscribers with 1.2 thousand videos, with 1,200 videos. When she came from a place where she was live with the Glarer of all people and sharing autopsy photos of Gannon Stalk in her Patreon. Oh, that's right. She hired her agency to clean her up and promote her. There we go. There we go. And she goes on tours. I don't want anybody to be my true crime bestie. That's fucking weird.
Listening to you, Annie, for years. You do an excellent job. You are like the storyteller when it comes to true crime. And thank you for being here, because I know that you and I have both had a interest for a very long time.
For sure, Krisha.
Ashley Banfield called it, she said, more of like we've both been perplexed. I like that word.
Tiffany, so did Annie Elise, except she slipped under the radar.
Perplexed for a very long time when it comes to Lori Vallow Daybell. And I definitely want to talk about her with you. Definitely. Before we get there, though, I do have some personal questions for you, because I think that many of us, you are always telling us stories, but I want to hear a little bit about your story. Like, have you?
I mean, I guess if you like listening to scripted stories, you would like that type of thing. That's not my cup of tea. I like raw, real, true podcasts. I don't get into scripted, made up, injected podcasts. That's just not my thing, but to each their own.
You always had a fascination, a morbid curiosity in crime, or a fascination with why people do what they do, or what is it about true crime that sort of gets you?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk with you again. I don't think now that I think about it, I don't think we've actually talked officially together since we were in.
So if you're not familiar, this is the one who had Grayson make the snark pages on Reddit so that no one would talk bad about her. Because
Everybody likes me, everybody hates me. They want me to go eat some worms.
Gosh, where was that? Salt Lake. Back
Salt Lake
in
City.
October. Yeah, and we were talking about Lori. No, so I'm really excited. But I first started getting into true crime when I was, quite honestly, probably way too young to even be watching it. But I was watching Datelines, 2020s, even 60 Minutes. And my sister and I kind of got on true crime with each other. And for me, there were a couple of different reasons why I was fascinated with it. One was trying to understand why people did what they did, and, trying to see how, not if you could ever relate to them, but just trying to understand what would make somebody do such horrific things. And then another piece of it was almost like the problem solving and strategic element of it. When I would watch these shows and documentaries and Datelines and all that, I would be like, I want to figure out how, can I solve it before they tell me what is going down? Can I identify all of the red flags before they have the big aha moment? And so I just grew up watching true crime and being extremely fascinated. There were quite a few cases.
I actually went over them in the very beginning, Tomato, but long story short, there was a post on Reddit where Grayson was accused of making some snark pages, and we weren't sure if it was Grayson. Grayson confirmed it in Down the Rabbit Hole's comment section. And then Annie Elise came along and confirmed it again, that there were snark pages on Reddit made in her name because she didn't want them made by anyone else who didn't like her. So it was to give the illusion that there's already one made, so don't make one. Weird, right? So that they could have control over anyone who said anything bad on Reddit about this one. Now, if you need to go that far to cover your ass, you might just not be who you say you are. Because I promise you, there's nothing that anyone could make a Reddit snark page about me and have anything to put on there. Y'all are behind the scenes bitches is what you are. You are dirty behind the scenes bitches who could cock together. I don't know what the fuck your connection is, but you do. You're cliquey and you're culty, and it's weird. It's all an image. It's all perception. It's weird.
Cases that stuck with me, the one that I always reference, which I'm sure so many people can relate to, is Casey Anthony. I remember exactly where I was when that verdict came back. I remember how I felt. I remember it was so long ago that it was literally on a tube TV type style TV, not even a flat screen. And like, I just remember it so vividly. And so then when I started entering into like this true,
I mean, you really have to ask yourself, is she good without a script? You know what I mean? Yes, she admitted to doing it. I showed it in the beginning. If you want to go back, I went over it.
crime world where I was talking about these cases, not just in the privacy of my own home or with my sister. I just really wanted to talk about those types of cases, the ones that really get under your skin, that bother you, that you feel like need more awareness, have questions that are unanswered, and just focus on things where there's more conversation to be had and also maybe value to be had by talking about it and maybe evoking change or for people to think about things differently.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Well, and now I have to ask, you said you remember exactly what you were feeling when the Casey Anthony verdict came down. So what were you thinking and feeling back then?
Rage, complete rage. Like, honestly, I felt like my whole body got hot and I was just seeing red everywhere and kind of just disbelief. Like, are you serious? Like, this is what the jury came back with. How did somebody even think that there's a shadow of a doubt that she did this? And I just was in complete disbelief.
Yeah. So fast forward years later, decades later, she shows up on TikTok. Did you feel the same rage?
Same feeling. It was like that feeling all over again. Same rage. And this now even more of like, you have the audacity to now come on TikTok and label yourself, brand yourself as a legal advocate. Are you like, be for real? Are you kidding me right now? She's just.
I can't. Kelly Mack, snark equals preemptive. Smart page, preemptive, just like the 9 Hour Live, correct? It's always about image control, perception. It's all fake. It's all a smoke screen. These people aren't, they're not organic.
So unhinged.
Yeah. You're like, you are the woman that gave me rage that makes me do what I do today. And here you are jumping on TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can imagine. So, when you started 10 to Life, wasn't the Daybell?
Well, she doesn't really need to put it back up because she has Annie Elise admitting it in a post. That's what Rabbit has up now, is Annie Elise's response admitting it.
It's like one of the first cases you started with. There were many, I'm sure, but take me back to when you started and what cases you were covering.
Yeah, Lori was the very first case that I did in a big way on my YouTube channel. And I remember, so it was 2020 and it was when the pandemic was going on. And that's what catapulted me into doing true crime, which is a story for a different day. But I remember I was living in New York at the time. And I remember every morning, my routine, which this is going to make me sound so old, but I would watch Good Morning America. Okay. Every single morning.
It's going to make you sound so old. This is when you actually had to like work at it, right? She sounds old because she had tea with Good Morning America. It's the true crime besties.
Everybody likes me, everybody hates me. They want me to go eat someone.
Yeah, I watched Good Morning America. And like, I remember seeing the case come across the screen. And it was when they had already fled to Hawaii at this point. And they were talking about how these kids were missing and how the mother wasn't speaking out and she wasn't sharing. And I was like, something's weird here. Like, what do you mean? And now they're just casually walking in Hawaii. And it was the classic footage that everybody's familiar with. So then I decided to start looking into
the classic footage. The classic footage, it was Nate Eaton's exclusive footage because she hired an agency, a big agency. If you look at Annie Elise's email, you can see it's like WMG agency or some shit. If you got money, you can be whoever the fuck you want. If you got money, you can be whoever the fuck you want on YouTube. You saw how they cleaned her up.
To it. And when I learned that Chad Daybell was involved and that he's this, who I believe is a cult leader and has all these insane theories and ideations and things like that, I was like, oh, this makes a lot more sense now. Like the writing is on the wall of what's going down here. So that was back when I was just doing 10-minute case recaps, which is why the name of my YouTube channel is 10 to Life, because it was supposed to only be 10 minutes and now it's like 60 to 90 to life. But yeah, she was one of the very first cases and I just kind of ripped into her. Like, classic move, you're falling in love with a cult leader because obviously like that's what people like you do. You're clearly a horrible mother. There's something shady going on here. And ever since then, I just kept digging in more and more. And it's almost like as I was researching it, things were unfolding simultaneously and I just could not break away from it. I just wanted to know every single thing about it.
That takes me back to what I was feeling too. So
thank you, Jenna G. Not to be sentimental or to fangirl. I've been a sub a long time and fellow Michigander. Great job covering the exposing of Lauren and pointing out the obvious truth. Keep up the kick-ass work. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. An OG.
It was before we knew each other. Who knew? You know, you in New York City. I was actually in Utah, in St. George, the very city where Lori and Chad met. If only I knew, and I could have, you know, stopped it. But it was the same thing. I was a new mom, and I was like,
This is right before she sent out the cease and desist. Just keep that in mind.
I was a new mom, and I was at home, and it was hard because I wasn't reporting anymore. And it came down, and it was the pandemic, and I just started. It was like the first Facebook group I ever joined. Actually, was a true crime Facebook group. I shouldn't say that. I've joined groups, but like the first true crime Facebook group I'd ever joined was about the Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell case. And I was the same way. I was like, what is going on? I remember seeing Kay Woodcock's like Facebook post saying, somebody help, there are 2 missing children. My brother was killed. And then all of a sudden Brandon Boudreaux shows up and he's like, someone tried to shoot me. And I'm like, what is happening? And
I know it feels like a Lifetime movie, but it's like, this was real life. And the fact that there were children involved in this, I think it struck a chord with everyone, especially mothers, because when you see them so casually not answering questions, evading questions, it's like, how as a mother can you just sit there and say like, you know what? I know where they are, but I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you. Meanwhile, grandparents are begging for their safe return. The public is. It's on all these news channels, and you're still remaining silent. It's like, how do you even sleep at night?
I know. I'll never forget to just, you know, I attended the trial. I know that you had a correspondent there. I will never forget.
It's nuts,
what
isn't
I
it,
felt
Tomato?
as I heard about what happened to those 2 little children. I'll never forget it. And I remember just, it was, you know, we're mothers. It's just so hard to fathom for me. And I think that that's part of why I keep going with this case. I'm still to this day, 5.5 years later, is just unfathomable to me. I mean, I live with a psychologist and I still just have so many questions. I cannot understand it. I want to say one thing too, you know, I just want to share this too. A thank you to you. I remember we had the memorial for JJ and Tylee actually, and you donated a lot of money to make it beautiful. And the flowers that you, through your support, I just want you to know, it was a lot. I just want to say thank you for that too.
Oh, thank you.
Random side note, but I'm remembering that. Yeah, no, you've been really,
that.
You've cared a lot from the very beginning.
I think it's tough because like you and like so many people who have just been glued to this case from day one, it's like.
Was Grayson editing for her back then? Was Grayson doing editing in April? She must have been, right? Because there's that hard edit again.
It's almost like you're trying to understand the, you know, what you can't understand, something that doesn't make any sense. And that's why you are almost glued to it. Or at least me, it's like, I'm just trying to make sense of it all, even now that we know so much of what went on and the truth and what, you know, I still believe obviously like different things with Alex Cox and
me too,
other,
Julie.
I don't know, relationships, I guess you could say, but it's like, you're just trying to make sense of it all still. And somebody who can do that to their children, it doesn't make sense. And I think it's like, you're constantly trying to search for an answer and a why, and so that it'll click and you can like move on, but there's nothing that will ever explain it.
Well, and since you threw that out there, what do you believe about Alex Cox? Because he's a bit of a mystery to me. I go back and forth.
Okay. Here's my hot take on it. I think that
I want to hear it.
I think that Alex and Lori's relationship, it makes me super uncomfy, honestly. I think he was obviously like her henchman who did a lot of things at her direction and just took orders from her, so much so to kill as well. And to me, there's something to be said about loyalty, especially between family members, loved ones, even good friends. But there's something about that dynamic that has just never like really sat well with me. And I'm not trying to imply that there was something, you know, more going on between the two of them. Nothing like that. I mean, it could be something Game of Thronesy. I don't know. But like, it gives me those vibes where it's like, it's this blind loyalty and almost like he's her puppy dog in a way. And then the fact that
what the fuck is going on here? I didn't follow the Michael Long thing. Like, I heard about it. Her and the Glairer got into that with my ex podcast host, Critical K. I was not a part of that shit show. I didn't follow that case, so I'm not one that can fill anybody in on that.
he died after the wedding and just kind of mysteriously, even though I believe they had said it was natural causes. I feel like, no, he knew too much. He could have said something. He could have flipped. Like, it's too much of a coincidence to me, at least. And what do I know? But it just doesn't look good.
I agree with you. You know,
wait, while we're talking about this, Desert Rain, thank you. But while we're talking about stats, clearly in the thing that Kresha showed from Playboard or whatever, it showed that only 20% of their viewers watch them. So when you say I think they've lost 3,000 subscribers. And if you think about 20%, yes, it's edited for sure. Yeah, it's edited. You could see the transitions. I can't remember what I was going to say. Fuck. I lost my train of thought.
Likes me, everybody hates me. They want me to go eat some more.
Oh, the stats. So if what did I say? 21% of their audience, what would that be out of 321? You know what I mean? And then you figure how many have unsubbed. Yeah. There you go. They're going to lose their, yes. Exactly, Trixie.
I have gone back and forth admittedly. If it was natural, I'll just say that is the biggest coincidence. It's almost like I just can't believe that it's coincidence. And I'm not someone that, I don't know. I agree with you. You know, Chad Daybell gave him a blessing that said, you'll know when you'll go to the other side. It was the day after Tammy Daybell's autopsy, or not autopsy.
When she was exhumed.
Yeah, she was exhumed. That's it. Thank you. And then there was a bag of money waiting for Zulema. And he had just been to Mexico, like, was it the day before or 2 days before? Sometimes I get my facts mixed up. It's like, there's so many moving parts here. I have a very hard time believing it's natural too. And look, I'm not saying that the person that did the autopsy is wrong, but, and I want to know if you agree with me. I do think it was a pulmonary embolism. That's what the autopsy says, lung clots, right? But what poison could have maybe been undetected?
Oh, maybe, Crusher.
And I feel like there's always something that's like undetected, right? We don't know about.
That's the $1 million question. I mean, how many times have we heard or covered cases where people are injecting insulin and it goes under the radar, or they're doing something and it causes these people to die and people don't look into it, or they don't go below the line on it. And it's just, it's too convenient. Like, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but like, come on, like, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? Something isn't right here.
When there's a lot of evidence, it starts to become less of a conspiracy theory. Maybe.
Okay, says the two investigators. We don't buy subs, we buy worms.
Likes me, everybody hates me. They want me to go eat some worms.
Maybe that's what it is. Because I feel the same way. I'm like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but really, I mean, with all the deaths surrounding it, and you're right. And Alex Cox, they do believe was likely the killer in this conspiracy to kill her murderous spree. Which actually brings me to another question, though. A lot of people do think that maybe Lori participated in some of the. I mean, she participated in them. She's been convicted of them. So let me rephrase that. I mean, physically, like, do you? I don't know. I really don't know. But do you think that Lori maybe even played a part in the physical killing, or do you think she only conspired?
I think she probably did. I think not only did she have a role, I think she probably participated. But what I will say to that is, and I could be completely wrong. I'm actually interested to know what you think. I think that if she did have any sort of physical role in it, that maybe it was giving JJ something that made him sleepy, or that made him subdued so that they could like take over and take control, or something.
This is 6 months old, Glamis. This is from April.
With Tylee, I don't know that she necessarily was hands-on with the act of murder, if that makes sense. Maybe more of like some of the components that helped attribute to it and like speed it along. But I just can't imagine that she was just, it was all happening, you know, unbeknownst to her. She's like, I don't want any part of it. Just go do it. Maybe. But I think that she probably would have had a bigger hand in it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I hope that they gave something to JJ and to Tylee, you know, to make them sleepy. I can only hope, you know, that's like, you know, just to make it less traumatic for them. I can't imagine their last moments. But I want to think that I agree that she let it happen and she handed them over. If she participated in any, I think she might have helped with JJ. That's after like some of the evidence I saw at trial, but then at the same time, because she's a mother, I like stop, but I'm like, I just can't go there sometimes too. I'm like, no, I just want to imagine that that woman I'm staring at in court isn't that evil, but then she is
unnerving. I know.
But then she let it happen, and and that's what I want to ask you about. You know, I feel like usually if like there's a second trial, she's already a convicted murderer, right? She is a convicted murderer of killing her own children. Like it's like she's already serving 3 consecutive life sentences. And so I want to ask you your thoughts on the second trial, because I feel like for the most part, a second trial wouldn't get that much attention, but this kind of isn't your average second trial, because the first one wasn't even televised. Now we've got a video on this and she's representing herself. Like any thoughts or any Are you looking? Go ahead.
I think the reason people are still so glued to this is because they just want to see justice for all people involved, for Tammy, for Charles, for everyone, for Brandon, like all across the board. The fact that she's representing herself is, I wish I could say I was surprised, but I'm really not. Like, I think it's so on brand for Lori. I'm not shocked at all. Do I think she's going to do a good job? Certainly
It's on brand, y'all. It's all about the brand.
not. I think it's going to be
That's not part of our brand. Humor is part of our brand, says Dr. John.
complete circus in there.
Hey,
There's been
Teresa.
some things that I've seen and heard where, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit impressed at certain ways she's handling herself. I don't think that I could do that. But we also know, in my opinion, I should say, actually not we, but me, I think she's a full-blown narcissist. So I think once she's out there and once she's trying to spin her version and her narrative, we're probably going to see a replica of what we saw in the Keith Morrison Dateline interview, where it's just, you know, this self-righteous, I'm the victim, you don't know what you're talking about. And I think it's going to just be chaos. But at the end of the day, if it gets justice for Charles and his family and everybody, it's like, fine, we'll go through the motions, you know?
Yeah, pretty much Keith Morrison's interview with Lori taught us that she thinks she's going to be exonerated and go on Dancing with the Stars. It doesn't get
exactly
crazier than that. No, I know. And, you know, and
Wait,
I thank you
what?
for being able to laugh with me, by the way.
Wait, what did you just say?
Yeah, pretty much Keith Morrison's interview with Lori taught us that she thinks she's going to be exonerated and go on Dancing with the Stars. It doesn't get
exactly
crazier than that. No, I know. And, you know, and I thank you for being able to laugh with me, by the way, too. I appreciate that friendship with you, because a lot of people will say, like, how can you laugh? Look, if you don't laugh, you cry. We've been covering this. You and I have been covering this for 5.5 years. And I just want people to know that, like, this is heartbreaking. This is hard, but sometimes you just have to laugh. It's so absurd, you know.
Yeah.
Lori Vallow, a convicted murderer, is representing herself. Yeah. And she's going to go on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
But I feel like the thing I'm most intrigued about, is just the fact that she's representing herself.
Tangerine, if I had to pick one or the other to listen to, I would definitely choose Annie.
And that she seems to have no self-awareness. I've already sat through jury selection, and jury selection was wild. I was not expecting that. I was even like, should I come to jury selection or should I just stay home? I'm like, oh, I'll go, you know, set up, you know, learn the lay of the land. And it's almost been like almost manic. Like, she's like calm and then she gets so riled up so quickly. I think it's just foreshadowing that it's going to be a pretty wild case, in my opinion. You mentioned narcissist. Don't worry, I hold the same belief. I actually am not afraid to say I think she's a psychopath. I think she's a full-on psychopath. So it's like, I think throw that in there. So like a psychopath that doesn't have self-awareness, that's been diagnosed with delusional disorder, because we learned that from like
sounds like she's describing herself. Wow.
Judge Boyce during her sentencing, representing herself in court, and somehow she's competent to do that. It's just hard to, and a convicted child murderer. Like, this is just like hard to swallow, you know, but
it's a really interesting combination. And I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what to expect. It's going to be very interesting to see what line of questioning she has, what she tries to spin. And I thought in the first trial that they were probably going to pin everything on Alex, and like, you know, even way harder than what was insinuated. And so I'm kind of wondering what's going to happen, since Alex was the one who shot Charles. Like, is that where this is going to go? It's just going to be interesting.
Yeah. I think she's going to actually stick to the affair story. Do you remember when she went into the police department before Charles was killed, and like went in, there was body cam footage, and
Annie is often in touch with Chris from Mob Crew. That's weird. Is Chris from Mob Crew Mormon? Why is Kresha, what have you done to us?
She was saying,
now we're questioning if everybody's fucking Mormon. This is crazy.
He stole my purse. He had an affair. So he's freaking out and he's, you know, and she like, the police believed her. And I like am starting to suspect that that's going to stay her motive, Annie, is that he was having
the judge didn't believe you,
an affair, and it was self-defense. And back to like, by the way, trying to blame. Well, first off, what do you think? Like, what do you think her motive's going to be? Same thing.
He lives in Utah.
I think probably that, or maybe even looping in, like, my brother was so protective of me. There was abuse going on. Charles was abusing me. Maybe she'll try to rope the kids into that too. Alex just wanted to protect me, his niece, his nephew. I think that it's going to be, whatever it is, it's going to be a sob story, and it's going to be her being the victim, because we know that that's what she does.
It is what she does best. She is always the victim, which is a sign of a psychopath, I might add. Mm-hmm. Always a victim.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that
that's rich.
Psychopath, I might add. Mm-hmm. Always a victim.
Well, let me.
That's you. Always a victim.
Ask you this. Do you think that?
Which is a sign of a psychopath, I might add. Always a victim.
Well, let me
Oh, shit. I don't know if Annie Elise is Mormon or not.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that had she
Yep,
never been caught
soundbite.
or charged, that she would have continued to kill people?
It's a good question. Yes. Yes. I don't know if right away, because I don't think, a lot of times people think that a psychopath is someone that just kills, right? Because a lot of serial killers are psychopaths. Thus, are psychopaths always killers? I think of a psychopath as like a severe personality disorder, antisocial, is extreme. And I think that she wanted to be a good mother and she wanted to be a good LDS or Mormon woman. And I don't know what happened to her. So my point is, it's like this killing in the name of righteousness is kind of bizarre. Like she has no conscience. So I think
Hi, Lana.
that she wasn't thinking necessarily, I want to go be a serial killer, but I think that if encouraged for extreme beliefs, she absolutely would have. Like, I think that
That's fucking terrifying, Kresha.
they would have found a way to kill Brandon Boudreaux. I think she would have found the way to recruit more cult leaders and find a way to kill people in the name of righteousness. I do. But I don't think she was thinking like an average serial killer, like a Ted Bundy serial killer. Like, I want to go kill people because that's just like feels so good to me. I think she wanted to fill a purpose. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes
No, it
sense.
totally does. I agree with you. I don't think that she would have continued to kill or even killed at all for the thrill of it, like we see in so many serial killer cases. I think it's more anytime somebody got in her way of what she wanted, they needed to be eliminated. They needed to get out of the way. Charles, Brandon, JJ, Tylee, whoever it was, maybe then Alex, because maybe he was then a threat to her once Tammy's body got exhumed. And I also think that had everything kind of gone under the radar and nobody looked into the children when they were missing, and except for when they contacted Melanie Gibb, it's my belief that if people continued to get in her way of what she wanted and what her goal was, that she would have continued to kill them and disguised it as under the religious veil of everything, of them being zombies, them being evil. And I think too, like depending on what the circumstances would have been, after Melanie told the police that JJ wasn't with her, I think that she probably would have gone after Melanie, because then she was a threat to her as well. I think anytime somebody got in the path of her, her goal, it was like just destruction. That's what I think they were doomed.
Absolutely. I think you just nailed it. Melanie Gibb. I think Kay Woodcock, right? Melanie Gibb, Kay Woodcock. I think.
What is the date on the Juicy Scoop? And it's almost 1:00. Kresha, are you ready? What date did she go on the Juicy Scoop? Yeah, she's going live. We're going to go over there in just a few minutes.
I think Zulema.
I mean, we could finish this off tomorrow.
Just going to say Zulema, she knew too much.
Yeah, she's way more articulate and well-spoken than this one.
I'm sure.
Yeah, she knew way too much. Remember that whole massage story with Alex? Do you remember that? Where she said, I was getting a massage from Alex and he put like a tarp down first and we had just gotten married. But then I realized maybe I could have been murdered, but here I am. And now Alex is dead. Anyway, yeah, it's too bizarre. It's like Dexter. But yeah, I think all of those people, you're right, for this cause. How about this? In fact, now I'm remembering what John would say about like a serial killer. She is a mission-driven serial killer, technically. Like it would if she had a mission, which she does, thus killing, she would do anything to.
Okay, so I say tomorrow we finish this up and then watch the Juicy Scoop with Annie Elise. What do you guys think? We'll kind of shift that into tomorrow's stream.
Make sure that her mission was accomplished. If that meant killing people, that meant killing people, including her own children. I think that's how John explains it. Like there's like different serial killers and she's a mission-driven one. So yes, she would have killed.
I wonder at which point, if any, she and Chad would have turned against each other. Even if it's like it was years down the road. Like at some point,
I'm trying to find a good break point.
Maybe you're thick as thieves now, but what happens if there's a hotter, younger version of you that comes in? What happens if he starts thinking that you're a zombie? Like I wonder at which point they would turn against each other.
Who has the biggest life insurance policy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you by any chance know if they have, I know they haven't had any direct communication, but has there been, what's going on with their dynamic?
Well, I do think they've had some communication, not with each other because he's on death row and she's a convicted murderer. So it's kind of complicated. Like they can't just communicate with each other. Even
right. They have to go through people.
They have to go through people. But I have heard that there has been somebody in the middle that has helped them communicate.
Okay. We're going to break there. at 25:46 because Lauren says she's heard something. Look at Annie. She's like, really? Fuck you heard, bitch. Why you keeping this juicy scoop from me? But I do agree Annie seems very confident in her own skin, which is more than I can say for Lauren. But we covered a lot of stuff today. I'm going to chapter it if you need to replay. We're going to get in the Cooter DeVille right now and head over to difficult research. Make sure you hit the like button.
Cooter DeVille.
When you
I think the devil
get in
drives
there.
a Cooter DeVille. I saw the dreadlocks over the hill. Not against her will. I got time to kill. Way down in Cootersville. Okay.
Thank you guys for joining me today. I appreciate it. I will be here tomorrow around the same time.
Everybody likes me, everybody hates me. They want me to go eat some worms.
We'll see if our credits work today. Thank you so much for your support. They're not going to come on. I don't know how to fix that, but thank you so much. I do appreciate your viewership. Please hit the like button on your way out. And when you get over to Kresh's channel, let's all support her. Thank you for your support over here. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Everybody stay safe, buckle up, and have a safe ride. Just stay put. You'll be taken over there.